How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to CyberDemon Gaming. My name is Matt, and we are playing MTG Arena. And I have a new deck for you guys today. Now, I don't really have anything fancy to call it, but it deals with blinking treacherous agent with Thassa and having fun taking things over. I guess you could call this a gimme deck. You think it's yours, gimme it. It's mine. Now, this is a deck that is good in best of 1 and best of 3, but I'll go over it real quick and let's see if see how things work. This is a deck that's been coming around recently. It deals with it. Let's just call it what it really is. It's fun police. Because you're basically trying to stop your opponent from having any fun whatsoever. And, well, let's go ahead and jump into this and see how things go. So, on the far end are little 2-drops. Now, this is a deck that does deal with life gain control. It's kind of mid-rangey. It's basically trying to hold off until you can get your combo out, which, of course, is Thassa, Deep Dwelling, and Agent of Treachery. So you are technically controlling your opponent's board. This deck actually is very effective once you get that first Agent of Treachery out with Thassa out there. Most of the time it's game over after that for your opponent unless they have an answer for it. It can be beaten. It's very hard to beat it once it starts rolling. So let me give you the working pieces, and then we'll go ahead and show you some games and show you how it goes. So first off, we run 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Charming Princes. He is a 2-drop. He's 1 white, 1 colorless. He's a 2/2, so he's kind of a bear. For those of you who remember Grizzly Bears, except he has some really nifty abilities that go with this whole blinking aspect of gimme it, it's mine. When he enters the battlefield, you get to scry 2, or gain 3 life, or you get to exile a target creature you own, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. What does that mean? To put it in layman's terms, basically all of our creatures that we have enter the battlefield abilities. So, when it hits the battlefield, something happens. Well, you exile them with Charming Prince, and they enter the battlefield again, and voila! Gimme it, it's mine! Or whatever it is that it happens to be. We run 4 of him. So, we also run 4... I don't know how to pronounce that name. I think it's Fblthp, the Lost. He's 1 blue, 1 colorless. He's a 1/1 homunculus. When he enters the battlefield, draw a card. If he entered from your library or was cast from your library, draw 2 cards instead. Things like Bolus's Citadel will allow you to cast it from your library. When Fblthp becomes the target of a spell, shuffle Fblthp into its owner's library. So he's kind of a recurring card draw. He only costs 2. He's a really easy chump blocker. And again, enter the battlefield ability allows you to basically just blink him back in. You get to draw a card. Now, when you are playing best of 1, decks like this rely on life gain, quick blocking, things like that. When you run into best of 1, what you're going to get is you're going to get a lot of aggro decks. Red-green, Gruul, Gruul is red-green, Gruul aggro decks, Rakdos aggro decks, mono-black, mono-red, even mono-white out there. And what they hope to do is hit you hard, fast, to the point where you're on your back foot every single time. So to combat that, we have another favorite, which really goes against Gruul really well, goes against mono red perfectly, and deals with Rakdos pretty handily as well, and that is Aether Gust. 1 blue, 1 colorless, choose target spell or permanent that's red or green. Its owner puts it in top of their library or the bottom of their library. Now, I have learned a trick with Aether Gust that I didn't see until I watched Day 9 TV do it. It didn't dawn on me at all. Hopefully I'll be able to show it to you, but you basically stop them after their draw step, and you hit whatever it is that's going to be coming at you with the Aether Gust, and they have to choose after they draw whether they want to take it, whether you time walk them where they draw that card again, or they put it at the bottom of their library. It fucks over people pretty harsh with a mono red deck, especially when it's an Annex, because they really want Annex out there. They thought he was going to survive, and then, you know, he goes back to the library. It's very effective. It's almost disheartening how it happens, but, you know, they're playing a mono red deck. They deserve it. Now, we only run 2 of those in the main deck, and then I was talking about life gain. Well, how about not only... I'll get to the life gain in a second, but let's talk about the stopping people from having fun thing. And that, of course, is Deputy of Detention. He is making a resurgence in this deck. 1 blue, 1 white, 1 colorless. When he enters the battlefield, you target 1 creature, non-land permanent your opponent controls, and all other non-land permanents that share that title, that same card, that same title, get basically locked under Deputy of Detention until he leaves the battlefield. This works wonders against tokens and also red decks because it's a 1/3, so it's really hard to deal with it. They don't run a lot of lava coils. They run, you know, they run the giants and they run shocks. So unless they have 3 mana open to kill him right away, it's not really going to do any good. Getting rid of their quick creatures right away, getting rid of the tokens that they produce from Annex. He's pretty much an all-around good blocker. He's a good defender. Not really good on the attacking, but, you know, he's got a big enough butt to make sure that he's going to stay out there and keep things, unless they have a board wipe, which red really doesn't really run. But we run 4 of him, so getting rid of enchantments, getting rid of tokens, getting rid of that pesky planeswalker. He does a lot of things. And then, of course, who else runs and does a lot of things? Teferi Time Raveler, everybody's white-blue favorite planeswalker. I've talked about him before. 1 white, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Opponents can only cast things as if they're sorceries until your next turn. If you +1 him, until your next turn, you cast a sorcery spell as though it had flash, which we do have a couple. And -3 is return one target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand, and you get to draw a card. Now, this is all about bouncing, right? Bouncing things, gaining life, having those recurring enter the battlefield abilities. And there's no better to do that than Thassa, Deep Dwelling. Now, we all know Thassa. She is the water god, this goddess of the sea. She costs 1 blue, 3 colorless. She is indestructible. Okay, so that is a key word. As long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, Thassa isn't a creature. If you get that 5th blue devotion out there, she becomes a 6/5 creature, which is actually really strong. Now, she has a couple of abilities. They're kind of important. Late game abilities, early game abilities. So at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target creature you control. Then return that card to the battlefield under your control. Do you see this whole blink thing that I'm talking about here? So, Charming Prince, you need to gain life, bounce Charming Prince comes back, you gain 3. You need to scry, same thing. Deputy of Detention, well, you wasted Deputy of Detention getting rid of all those tokens, and now there's a big beefy badass that's trying to ruin your day. Well, you bounce Deputy of Detention, comes back, well, that creature is now underneath Deputy of Detention. Fblthp, same thing, you get to gain a card. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right, really don't care. So, and then, late game, well, if you tap 1 blue, 3 colorless, you can tap another target creature. So they're attackers before their attack step, you tap them, they can't attack you. It works really, really well, especially if you're trying to dig for stuff, you're trying to wait and see if you can get some things. Life gain, really important. Charming Prince gives us life. Well, what else could give us life? How about Elite Guardmage? Not only does it give you life, it allows you to draw a card, and it's a 2/3 flyer. That's right. It's a decent card for 4. 1 blue, 1 white, 2 colorless. This thing is pretty fucking good. Elite Guardmage comes down, you get 3 life, you get to draw a card. Pretty much red decks are done once you start bouncing and rebouncing these things. You get a lot of card draw, you get a lot of life gain, and they're pretty much sunk. On top of that, they're 2/3, so they're pretty beefy, going up against those little salamanders and the hasty knights, things like that. So we run 4 of those. What else do we do? Well, we run 1 Cavalier of Dawn. What is the Cavalier of Dawn? It's a 4/6 vigilance creature that costs 3 white and 2 colorless, which is kind of expensive for a deck like this running 2 colors. You can get it out. It's not as mana heavy as it would be if we're running 3 colors, but sometimes you may be struggling to get that 3rd white mana out there. You never know. What does he do? Well, when Cavalier of Dawn enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature token. As you can see on screen, it's a very beautiful golem, fully animated, full art, the whole thing. Yeah, I know I spend coins on this stuff because I'm a Magic player and this is the shiny that we like. Now, like all Cavaliers, this has an exit the battlefield effect as well. When Cavalier of Dawn dies, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. What does that mean? Well, we run a couple of enchantments, one of them, of course, being Thassa. Now, if Thassa, you tried to get out, happened to get countered and is in your graveyard, well, Cavalier of Dawn dies, Thassa comes right back to your hand, and you can try and cast her again. Another artifact or enchantment that we like to try and bring back, of course, is Elspeth Conquers Death! Everyone's favorite enchantment right now. 2 white, 3 colorless. When it enters the battlefield, exile target permanent an opponent controls with a converted mana cost of 3 or greater. Second turn it's out, non-creature spells your opponent's cast cost 2 more to cast until your next turn. And then, of course, third turn it's out, thing everybody likes to know. Return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard, put it onto the battlefield with +1/+1 counter or a loyalty counter on it. So we want to get that Agent of Treachery back. Hey, there's a way to do it. You want to get Teferi back? Awesome! Even if you want to grab a Thassa because she's technically considered a creature, well, that's another way to get her back on the field. Elspeth Conquers Death is a way to get rid of one of their things, and it's very effective if it stays on the field after turn 3. We run 2 of those. Now, all of this stuff is happening, and then, well, you have a creature out there that you don't want to get rid of, but you need to wipe the board. Something bad has happened. Well, we have Time Wipe. Yeah, it costs 5. But this deck is all about blinking and returning and exiling and bringing back. So what better thing than Time Wipe? 1 blue, 2 white, 2 colorless. Return a creature you control to its owner's hand. So if you only have 1 and you happen to steal it from them, it's going to go back to them. And then destroy all creatures. It's quite simple. Yeah, not bad. A little time walk for your creature, and then you get to kill everything else. No drawn card for them. They have Planeswalker, it's still out there, but it works. Run 2 of those. Now, the Agent Blink ability, the Gimme and Its Mine ability, well, that revolves around Agent of Treachery. Now this is a big, hefty boy. It costs 2 blue, 5 colorless. That's right, he costs 7. 7 is a lot to ask for, especially in a meta like this, or a meta that you're doing best of 1. Something really bad has to have happened for you to be able to get to 7 mana and them not be able to stop Agent of Treachery. He's a 2/3, so he's got a decent backside, but it doesn't matter if he dies or not. When Agent of Treachery enters the battlefield, gain control of target permanent. That's right. Not just a token, not just a creature, not just an enchantment, not just a planeswalker. Artifacts, land, that stuff as well. You may laugh at that land thing. You're playing a tricolor deck, right? They only have 1 red source. Agent of Treachery comes down, you grab their red source, they can't use it anymore, it is now yours. On top of that, for those who run Tristani still, doesn't get back those lands, doesn't get back those enchantments or planeswalkers. Tristani only gives you back creatures that you control from the opponent. Agent of Treachery is a very good card, and we run 3 of him. Now, this is a white-blue deck, so we only have 2 colors of mana, so that means we don't have too much mana fixing to do. So we run 8 planes, 2 Castle Vantresses. While you're trying to wait and see how things are progressing, you may need to scry a little bit. Always good to scry at the end of your opponent's turn, see what's coming up if you don't have anything to do. 6 islands, 4 Hallowed Fountains, 4 Temples of Enlightenment, and 2 Fabled Passages. Now, I thought about putting in the White Castle, the Castle Ardenvale, but it's not necessarily something that you can... Like, if you're drawing that dead at the end where you're hoping that the Castle Ardenvale will save you, you're pretty much fucked. So it's not necessarily something that needs to happen. Now, we do have a sideboard here. Like I said, this is a best of 3 deck. I'm going to show you some best of 1 games, and I'm going to show you some best of 3 games, or a best of 3 games, depending on how long it takes. So we have 4 of those pesky red-black decks that are out there. The top aggro deck out there, Rakdos aggro, or Rakdos Sacrifice. You have 4 Devout Decrees, 1 white, 1 blue, or 1 white, 1 colorless, exile target creature or planeswalker that is black or red. We run 4 of those, so when you're playing against something like that, take out Fblthp or Deputy of Detention because they run a lot of kill spells, and, you know, throw in some Devout Decrees. Running up against a mono red deck, well, we have 2 more Aether Gusts in the sideboard, helps even that stuff out. Now we're getting into the control meta part of it, so we got 2 Disdainful Strokes when you're going up against a deck that likes to play slow. 1 blue, 1 colorless, counter target spell with converted mana cost of 4 or greater. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit either of the Titans. Oro or whatever the hell the other one's name is. It doesn't hit them because their mana cost, regardless of the escape cost, their mana cost on the CMC is 2 and 3. So Disdainful Stroke doesn't work on those. It works on Nissa. It will work, I believe, on Hydroid Crisis, because Hydroid Crisis has the X ability, so the converted mana cost is then X. So unless they do a Hydroid Crisis for 1, Disdainful Stroke can hit them. 2 more very, very powerful counterspells, which are Dovin's Veto, and of course everyone's favorite Mystical Dispute. This is the control meta. This is what you're bringing for control. The 6 counterspells will pretty much hold them off from whatever they want to do, on top of Elspeth Conquers Death, Cavalier of Dawn, Teferi, things like that. If you're going up against control, and it's Esper control, or even banned control or something like that, you could probably get rid of the Aether Gust. It's not that big of a deal. So, and then we run an additional Time Wipe, just in case we go against one of those mid-rangey aggro decks. And then for dealing with mono black and black red and Rakdos sack decks, we have Heliod's Intervention. Now, I chose Intervention because there's a chance that you can destroy multiple artifacts. It's not necessarily something that always happens. Or if you have it clutch and you have a lot of mana like this deck likes to get, that life gain is really important. So you can double, you gain twice X life. It costs 2 white and X, or destroy X artifacts and or enchantments, or target player gains twice X life. And we run 2 of those, so you bring those in against like red, possibly, or red-black mainly. Mono-black, red-black to get, and Team or Adventure to get rid of the pesky, 4-leaf clovers and witches. So, and that is, I guess we could call it Gimme and It's Mine, the name of the deck. I know I have it as Agent Blink, but yeah, it's basically what it is. Gimme it. Mine. Not yours anymore. It's mine. Oh, and speaking of mine, I did forget to add one little thing about Agent of Treachery. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 3 or more permanents you don't own, you get to draw 3 cards. So there's a lot of card draw in this deck. There's a lot of enter the battlefield interactivity. This deck is really, really good, really powerful. If your opponent doesn't put a stop to it by holding back a counterspell for Agent of Treachery, or keeping you off of Thassa, or doing something, it ends up being pretty bad for them. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some of these games and see how things go. Alright, let's see what we can do against Matthias 84. I'm assuming that's when he was born, so that means he's the same age as my brother. No, we got a Pedopter. Yeah, we'll keep this. They mulliganed. So we're gonna go ahead and grab a blue. Grab one of our very pretty islands here. They are going to play... Hey, we got the land. Okay. There we go. Rose Spiral. Want to get ahead of us. Enjoy this. Yeah, you're going to grab Thassa. My guess is they have Nissa in their hand. So we're going to do this. Sure. Nissa. They always have a Nissa. Come on. Or you're going to play your Uro, or you're just wasting time. So you notice that the two things on the side did things? That's because they're there, they're just wasting time. See? You know we have it. Go ahead and do that. Hey, that's good for us. Alright, so more of your casualties of war incoming. Oh, nope, Nissa. No blocks. You want to see something really cool? So now I have them again. I probably should have attacked first, but... Oh. That Hydroid Crisis is not going to be fun for you. Alright, so I'm going to show you a fun trick with so we're going to play Deputy of Detention. We're going to grab this. Charming Prince. It's a 2-for-1, or a 2-for-2, I guess, because that comes back in as a 0/0. And then we just grab Nissa. It's fun, right? no blocks because they want to get Nissa back. So we're going to gain some life. No attacks. Alright. Polychronos can't come down yet, but here comes the agent. Yeah, casualties of war. Saw that coming. So we're gonna double block. And we're just not going to deal with Nissa anymore. Now, Polychronos is going to come out. My guess is he's going to... Oh, he can't. Okay. So that's a 12-12. That's pretty beefy. That is not a fun boy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this and just grab that. Then we're gonna play Pedometer and draw a card. Aether Gust, not bad. Not great. Why? Because I have 2 Charming Princes in my hand. Oh! What's that? What do we get? We're gonna bring Thassa out? So we're gonna scry, because now we need land. And we're gonna say next. End turn. And we're gonna gain life. Oh no, a Boreal Grazer. I am so scared. We're 2 away from what we need to do, which is what they don't want to have happen. So, my turn. Land. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play another Prince. And we're gonna scry 2. That's good. Attack. And we're gonna end turn. And then this Prince comes right back. And we gain 3 more life. Now, for the... Oh, I was going to say, for the Nissa that's coming down, we're going to just pop it. No. You go ahead and you can put... We can time walk that. So, this is what I was talking about. We're going to start just popping their lands. I'll tackle both of those. Yeah. Because pop Agent of Treachery, I just start grabbing more of their land. Okay, so in a game like this, Aether Gust is good. We're going to bring in Disdainful Stroke. We're going to bring in Dovin's Veto. We're going to bring in Mystical Dispute. take out 2 Pedopators. Well, two of the deputies. We're going to take out 1 Thassa and 1 Elite Guardmage. No. 1 Teferi. Yeah, that should be good. Should be good. I say should. Doesn't mean it will be. Just means should. Waiting on them to sideboard. So they're going to sideboard in some more aggressive creatures, more than likely. That deck, I believe, has 1 more Casualty of War. They're going to take out their Aether Gusts because they run the main board. And they're going to side in a Negate, some Mystical Disputes. Oh, this is good. Yes, this is good. Now you're saying, but it's 5 land and a counterspell. The only counter that we really need to worry about, the only card that we really need to worry about countering is Nissa. She's difficult to deal with at the start, so we're going to keep that as well. So they're going to shock in a land because they have... See? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. Now we have Disdainful Stroke and Dovin's Veto. What this means is when we're going to let them play their card. We're going to let them play their Growth Spiral. Because we're worried about the higher cost ones that are coming in. They can play their Uro. I don't care. They can gain life. They can draw their card. They can play their land. When they have 5 land on turn 3, they're going to want to drop their Nissa. Oh, or Ashiok. We're going to get rid of that. See? We don't want to be doing that. Now, if they have another land, they're going to eagerly drop that land. Uro. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Uro is fine. They don't have a follow-up. Not having a follow-up is bad for them. Now, we're holding off because I'm assuming they have a Mystical Dispute, and we don't have what we need to play against that yet. So we're going to play a Pedopater. At least I think that's how you say his name. Elite Guardmage is good. And we got one more turn. We're going to play Elite Guardmage, and then we're going to play, because we want to have Disdainful Stroke backup. Unless they're dropping... Yeah, okay. I know what they're doing. So we don't want to lose that land. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. Pedopater's going to shuffle back into our library. It's fine. So we're going to drop Thassa. And now they're going to hope that I don't have another land, and they're going to hope I don't have Agent of Treachery. Oh, they're going to destroy another land. I'm assuming they have another casualties. Oh no, Hydroid Crisis. Okay. My turn. So we're going to go ahead and drop Elite Guardmage. Draw a card. We're going to drop Pedopater. Draw a card. Play our land. Aether Gust is going to stay on top. And then we draw our Aether Gust. There she is. Okay, so what are we worried about? Not much, really. Yeah, I'll take 8. I'm okay with taking 8. Because we have Aether Gust that's going to deal with that. Oh, that was mean! That was very mean. Do they have a Disdainful Stroke? or a Mystical Dispute? I guess we're gonna find out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna stop here. Okay, so we're not gonna play anything. The reason why is we're gonna tap that when it comes out. What we're gonna do, we're gonna draw a card. Charming Prince, not bad. Okay, this is what I was talking about. So, Aether Gust. Okay. Now we're going to stop here. We have a land. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to tap that. So we don't have to deal with that. We have 3 coming out our way. We're going to gain 3 next turn. No big. We're going to gain 6 next turn. No big deal. Because I'm pretty sure they have. So you're going to name Nissa. Okay, so we have, yeah, we're gonna do, and we're going to exile. So gain 3 life. Draw a card. So we're waiting right now. Play Nissa. No blocks. Okay. See, they still have, I'm pretty sure they still have a counterspell, unless they look for one. Casualties of War. So they may have it. We're gonna find out here. 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No! So we'll just take those 2. This is not going to be fun for them because of this. So they want to attack. They want to attack so badly. It's not going to be good for them. Oh, alright, Uro's coming down. Uro's going to be exiled. They have enough in their graveyard that they can do the other one, but so do we. 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah. Not attacking. Alright. And then the scoop. You just wanted to swing in with the 5/5 so you could? Alright. I respect it. I respect it. But that's Agent of Treachery right there. They know there's nothing they can do. Agent of Treachery. Thassa's out there as a creature. Makes it really hard for them to deal with. Can't attack with their lands. I just go ahead and start grabbing all their stuff. You know, it makes it a lot harder, especially because I took their Tomio. So fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff. Alright. We're taking this into best of 1. Going up against Rock. Not the Rock, just Rock. We get to go first. We're going to keep this. It's not bad. We get our Fabled Passage. That'll get us our... oh, they bought both of them. Look at that. Look at that cute little thing. Look at the cute thing. So we don't need white. We need blue. We need islands. I'm going to say hello to Rock. Why not? We're going to be nice. Oh, we're playing up against the... This is going to be important, and so is this. Now, I don't think this deck runs Mystical Dispute in the main board, so I don't think we have to worry about that. We are going to scry. There we go. This is blue-green. It's the blue-green elemental deck. Yep. This is Simic Ramp. So no, they do not run counter spells. They run Aether Gusts, which have no effect on us. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna block. Draw a card. This is gonna hurt them. This is gonna hurt them a lot. Like they just wiped. So they're gonna play Kiora, or not Kiora. They're gonna play Tomio. Tomio is gonna bring back what? What are you looking for? Oh. Now you're gonna play Uro. So you go away, you got enough in there to bring him back next turn. Ooh. So we're going to do this. Get rid of that. I think we have Charming Prince in our graveyard. Not the greatest. Oh, Questing Beast. No, anything but Questing Beast. I'm being facetious, of course. Now, Uro's going to come down as well. We're not as worried about Uro. We are worried about Questing Beast. have a way of getting rid of this. They're doing a lot of stuff. I'm supposed to be scared about all this. So Cavalier of Dawn comes back. Alright, we got another Earl coming down. Oh, a questing beast. So, we're going to take the 4. Not worried about the 4. Like, they're just ramping to get stuff out. They're not a threat yet. So what can he bring back? He can bring back quite a few things. So we are actually just going to take the 9. What I'd like right now is an Agent of Treachery. Down to 2 cards in your deck. 1 card in your deck. You have to kill me this turn. So, block that. Block that. Block that. That's game! You milled yourself out. Like I said, decks like that, all they do is do things, drop big creatures. If you can hold them off, it's just like a red deck. They just draw. They're eventually going to mill themselves out. Now, I got lucky, okay, because my opponent, no offense to Rock, was about as dumb as one. Okay, instead of trying to, he was just trying to swarm. He was trying to go big, trying to go wide. I had a strategy. My strategy was going to work. Theirs was not working. It continually was not working. So they were hoping that I was going to be dumb and that they were going to be able to force damage through. So, sorry, Rock, you failed. But that is all the time I have for this episode of MTG Arena. I really like this Gimme Its Mind deck. I hope I was able to show you some fun strategies with it. If you like it, I'm going to put the deck list in the description. I haven't been doing that, I apologize. So I'll put it in the description. I hope you guys enjoy. Next time, we'll have a new deck. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll stream it, maybe I won't, but that's up for next time. If you like what I do here, go ahead, hit like, share this around, and subscribe. You can also join me every Saturday night on Twitch under CyberDemon Gaming, of course. All relevant links are down below. You might want to check those out. You guys have a good night, and I hope to see you in the next video.